Hi guys, how you doing? It's Friday. I'm so excited. Let's give this a little share over to the Sara Ellis Designs community group. You guys, we made it through the week. Give yourself a round of applause. It's been a long one. It has been a long week. And you know, it's actually been pretty much a short week because today is technically a holiday. And so I have not had to do like double duty mom school stuff today. And I gotta say, it's kind of disappointing when like the kids, because my girls are still doing virtual school. My son, he starts UT coming up. And when there's a holiday on a virtual school day, like they get to sleep in. And I'm so jealous. Like, why don't I get to sleep in? Because I work from home and work is always here. I don't get to sleep in. Hi, Katie. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Eve. I hope you guys are going to have a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend. It is freezing cold here. I don't know what the weather is where you are, but it is very, very cold. And our heat unit actually went out downstairs. So go figure, you know? I don't know. It's not supposed to be cold. Happy Friday indeed. Happy Friday. It is Friday. It is Feel Good Friday. And we're not going to stress about the heat and air unit not working. We're not going to worry about not getting to sleep late today. I will sleep late tomorrow though. You wait and see. Mark my words. Mark my words. Hiya, 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 Angela. I love it. Katie says, hey. Tony. Hey, Tony. Tony, I have worn that sweatshirt all week long. I don't have it on right now because I was getting kind of sweaty. So I took it off, but I've worn it in all of the lives this week. You'll have to go back and see. So good afternoon. Indeed. It is Feel Good Friday. I know. I'm sorry. I'm just getting caught all up in the comments here saying hello to everybody, which is fine because it gives everybody a chance to come on in. But Feel Good Friday, for those of you who are new and do not know what Feel Good Friday is all about, it is fun, easy, feel-good jewelry that you can either recreate yourself with stuff that you've got in your own stash very easily, or you can grab the kits over in my Etsy shop, which makes it super duper Feel Good Friday, right? That makes it even better because that means that I did all the thinking and I put it all together and all you got to do is just recreate it. Win-win, win-win. So yeah, I've got a lot of jewelry for you guys today. So I've got 2 pairs of earrings, but one of the pairs of earrings comes in 3 different colorways. So I'm going to show you all 3 of those. Then I have kind of a vacation-y aloha feeling kind of pair of earrings. And then we've got a leather bracelet. So the leather bracelet is kind of like the springboard, even though it's cold here today. This leather bracelet is kind of like the springboard into the spring and summertime jewelry that is about to just kind of take over the whole, you know, jewelry making world. And spring and summer jewelry is a lot different than the jewelry that we wear through the wintertime, right? Wintertime jewelry, fall and wintertime jewelry, of course the colors are different, but also the materials tend to be a little bit heavier and bulkier. The pieces tend to be a little bit bigger and more of a statement piece. They definitely become an accessory to whatever else you're wearing, particularly because we wear a lot of frumpy sweaters and things. We're all bundled up. So the jewelry designs tend to be kind of, you know, the star of the show. I want the jewelry to always be the star of the show, but I do understand that in the summertime in particular, and in the spring when it starts to get warmer, people don't like heavy jewelry. So things tend to change, and you see a lot of things like cotton cord, leather, hemp, and lots of macrame this season. Like macrame is back with a vengeance. So all of the knots that you know, have ever learned, those are going to be very, very popular, and just more lightweight, thinner chains. That's all spring and summer. And you mix in the most amazing beads with that to make great designs. But for the most part, the designs themselves are a little bit more lightweight. And I don't mean that in like the sense that they're any less of a statement piece. I just mean that they're lightweight so that we don't sweat to death while we're wearing them. So that's kind of the feeling of this leather bracelet. Like that's going to kind of catapult us into some of the less heavy kinds of jewelry for spring and summer. So just wanted you to know that's kind of your little insight into the world of jewelry making. If you are new, that's kind of how the fashions rotate. The trends are always different, but when it comes to that kind of thing, like the materials are pretty much always the same year to year. So There you go. All right, so let's get down to business. I've got 3 pairs of earrings to show you, and then another pair and a bracelet. Yeah, you know, I already told you once. I'm just blabbering. Let's do this, shall we? Let me turn you around. That might help. All right, so, I'm excited to show you these. So right now, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. I would imagine that a lot of you have noticed because so many of you build your website or your booth around what is popular and trending in the jewelry world. And right now, lampwork beads are everywhere, okay? I mean everywhere. And the more intricate, the better. Like the more amazing the design, the better. And these lampwork beads can, you can get lampwork beads for a reasonable price, but they can also be very, very expensive depending on, what they have on them and who made them. But I like to try to find the middle ground with everything, right? So I have put together 3 earrings kits with lampwork beads. And if you think that I'm joking about this, if you think I'm just making it up, go take a look at my Etsy shop, because in the finished pieces, if you're shopping for jewelry that's already been made, I have a lot of lampwork earrings that are in my shop right now because they're hot. They're super, super popular. So I feel like everybody just likes the that artisan feel. So I've got a pair of earrings we're going to put together super quick and easy. These are in the shop in this gorgeous blue. This blue just makes me happy. It's just pretty. It's just pretty. So we're going to put this together super quick, but I want to show you because there's three different versions of this in the shop. I need to lower you guys down just a little bit. Hold on. There we go. Now we got light. Wow, that brightened things up quite a bit. Okay, so this beautiful blue is in the shop. We're going to put this one together here in just a second, but I want to show you the 2 other color versions that are also in the shop. Okay, these are already made, but I want to show them to you regardless. So if you're into this color blue, these guys are in the shop. This kit. They're kits, you guys. They're kits. They're kits. They're kits. I do have pre-made lampwork bead earrings in there, but these are the kits that are in the shop. So there's this blue, which is a little bit, the blue is a little softer. These are more of that kind of teal blue. And then last but not least, there's a kit that has the black in it. So let me get the black ones out to show you. These are just a little bit dressier. I feel like black always kind of has that kind of elegant feel to it. So if you want to go a little more dress up, I feel like the black is definitely, look how pretty. And so the focal on these are just these amazing lampwork beads that they're just amazing, right? Each one of them has its own little story, right? Like this one, it kind of feels like, it feels like a springtime pond where, it's just starting, the lilies are just starting to bloom. That's kind of what that feels like. This one to me feels like, a springtime, like date out in the garden. And then this one, I don't really know what I feel about this one. This one's my favorite. And yet I don't have a feeling for it. But this one's my favorite out of all 3. I don't know. I'm feeling this kind of light blue. It just screams spring to me. So let's put these together. I'm going to show you how super easy these are to put together, and everything you need to make these is in the kit. Okay. So in the kit, you got yourself some wire. I've got my own little wire stash going on now, so I can actually provide you guys with some wire, whereas before I wasn't able to do that. So now I've got some, and we're going to just start with a loop, a simple loop. Okay, so we're going to take that wire and we're going to give it a good bend. Botanical garden. Yes, indeed. Perfect. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Hey, Sam. All right, so there's our little backward 7. Okay, I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, and I'm grabbing that wire, holding the pliers up and down, right? Not side to side, but up and down. So I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to go up and over the top barrel of the pliers. Okay, I need to take that wire over to the other side, but I can't because the bottom barrel of the pliers is in the way. So I'm just going to readjust, and take that wire over to the other side to close up that loop. Okay. Now I am going to put this back on the tool and I'm going to do a wrapped loop. But for our wrapped loop, and a lot of times on our Feel Good Fridays, I do this technique. So I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to start my wire wrap, but instead of wrapping up or wrapping down, we're going to wrap in like a spiral. So what we're creating is kind of like a little platform for whatever we're going to thread onto this. So you can see how when you look at it from the top down, you can see it's just a little platform. It's, you know, I'm not doing anything crazy. And it's really just kind of a twist around. Okay. All that does really is it gives your beads a little spot to sit on, or it's going to shorten the space between your bead and the loop. Okay. Then, so that's really the reason that I did it here, was because just didn't want those wire wraps to take up too much extra room. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread on a bead cap, and that's going to sit right on top of that platform. It also kind of helps this guy from being so wiggly. Okay. So that's sitting downwards. And I'm going to take another bead cap and I'm going to put it on, and it's going to face the opposite direction. So now we've created like a little cup for our bead. And the Lampwork beads, you guys, a lot of times they have a large hole, and the bead caps are a great way to kind of help stabilize those beads. All right, so I'm going to sit that right down on top of that. And then I just want to stack 2 more of the bead caps. Okay, so there's one for the top and one going in the opposite direction. And then we're going to put a little bead in the top here to kind of nest. So this guy is going to go right on down just like that. And we're going to wire wrap to secure everything together. Okay. We do like wiggly, Wanda. But sometimes with our beads, we don't want wiggly. Just saying, just saying. We do like to wiggle here though. All right, so now I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers and I'm going to start my wrapped loop. So I'm just grabbing the wire right where it is exiting the bead. I'm going to give it a good bend. I'm going to take those away, come in with my round nose pliers. And again, same steps. We're going up and over. Okay, we're going to roll the pliers out of the way, take the wire over to the other side, and then we want to wire wrap in between our loop and the top of the bead. And if you want to chunky monkey, what is this wiggly joke and how do we wiggle? Sam, once upon a time, it wasn't that long ago, I used to have to wiggle my microphone cord every single time I did a live. And it just kind of became this thing where every time I would come on, everybody would remind me to wiggle. And so we just kind of adopted the wiggling. And now all live wires wiggle. So now you know, we wiggle in remembrance of the wire that we used to have to wiggle in order for everybody to be able to hear me. So, all right, so I doubled up my wire wrap just to make it chunky monkey. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, if you're not into that kind of messy, bulky, it looks like a slouchy sock. That's the way I always kind of describe that chunky monkey wire wrap. If you don't want to do that, you absolutely do not have to. Of course, you know, it's your wire and your earring. You can do whatever you want. All right. So we still have one more little dangle, because you guys know I can't jewelry without a dangle, right? I mean, it just wouldn't be me if I didn't add extra to everything. So I'm going to take one of these gorgeous faceted glass beads, drop that down on a head pin. And I want to give this a wire wrapped loop too, but I want to wire wrap this directly to the loop that's on the bottom of our earring, so we don't use any jump rings here. So I'm going to give it a good bend. Okay. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers and start that loop. But before I do the wire wrapping, we're going to thread this on to the bottom of our earring. So we've got our loop started. And now we're going to take it off of the tool. We're going to take the tail end of our wire and we just want to stick it through that loop on the bottom of our earring and slide the two together, and then they'll just pop into place. Okay. And I like to use my bent chain nose pliers to hold on to that loop. That kind of keeps my, pliers out of the way so that I can really get in there into that space between the loop and the top of the bead and do my wire wrap. So you don't need any jump rings here for this connection. If you wanted to do this ahead of time, you know, if you wanted to do this first before you thread your beads onto your wire, you could do it that way too. If you feel like you don't have a whole lot of room to work, you can do this earlier than when I did it. So there's the bottom. And now all we need to add to this is just our ear wire, and it's done. Guys, these are so springy and fun and so easy, like instant gratification. There's what, just a little bit of wire, a head pin and an ear wire. And the focus is really on these gorgeous beads. And I'm telling you, Lampwork is so in right now. So there are those, so pretty. The one thing about Lampwork, and I mentioned this just a second ago, well, when we were talking about the Lampwork to get started, I was mentioning how each one is kind of its own little work of art, has its own little story. You have to be the kind of person that is okay with your Lampwork beads not all matching exactly, right? You can even tell, like on this one of them, the flowers is a little bit bigger than the other one. If that drives you crazy, you're probably not going to be a Lampwork kind of person. And that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that at all. But Lampwork beads are definitely not, you know, they're not machine made. So you're not going to get a perfect match on those every single time. So they're going to be more like cousins than twins, right? And that's okay, because once they're on your ears, nobody is really going to notice from a distance. And if they're up close, I hope you're having more fun than them looking at whether or not your earrings match. I'm just saying. All right, so these are the 3 Lampwork earrings that are available in the shop. Super, super cool, lots of fun. Okay, I've got another easy pair of earrings. This one is definitely all about summertime, and I'm ready for it. So I'm feeling these little Aloha earrings. That's what I'm calling these. So they have these really beautiful Czech glass flowers. We have these great palm leaves. There is a Czech glass rondelle in here, and then a Swarovski bicone. Like, you can't go wrong with that combination. So we're going to put these together. Super easy. Okay, and then again, you've got all of, I love you, Sam. Sam is catching on. He's got it. He's got it. All right, so I'm just going to take my beads and just stack these up. Okay, I'm going to stack these onto my eye pin and do a loop, a little wrapped loop. That's all you got to have. Okay, so just stack up your Czech glass and your Swarovski. And again, do another wrapped loop. However, these are your earrings. If you decide you want to do a simple loop instead of a wrapped loop, that is totally okay. Okay, so I'm going up and over, rolling the pliers, taking that over to the other side, and I'm going to switch hands to do the wire wrap. Okay. So I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off my tail. Okay, and make sure that you don't have any extra wire sticking out, right? All right, so there's the top. The bottom is just a couple of twisted jump rings, because I'm all about twisted jump rings right now. Just a huge, huge fan. So let's see. The only problem is trying to find the opening of a twisted jump ring. There it is. All right, so when you're holding your jump rings between 2 pairs of pliers, hold one stationary and just use the other to walk your jump ring open. Do not pull your jump rings apart, okay? Don't do it, trust me. We're gonna thread on our loop on the bottom of our bead stack and close that back. Okay, so we have our go-between here. And I need to turn my loop a little. So I want my bottom loop to go one direction. I need my top loop to go the other direction. Probably should have done that beforehand. But you can always twist it, right? So what I'm saying is the eye pin loop, I need it to be facing away from me, and then my top loop to be facing towards me, okay? All right, now I'm just going to use another little smaller twisted jump ring to thread on my charm, and then attach that to our loop, just like so, and add our ear wire. And these are so easy. But like I say, Beautiful jewelry does not have to be complicated, and that's what Feel Good Friday is all about. How pretty are those? Like, that makes me want to go on vacation, big time. That is a vacation pair of earrings right there. That is a, I wish summer would get here. It's too cold today, pair of earrings. So those kits are also available in the shop if you're interested in those. If you don't want to buy these, then all I gotta say is go to your stash, grab your favorite beads, right? In fact, if you have Sam, I'm just going to give a little shameless plug to Sam here because he's here. If you've got Sam's last box, the one with all the blues and the greens, find a charm, stack up some of those beads. Like, that's my favorite way to make earrings. Just stack some things up and see what happens, right? Before you know it, you've got a fantastic pair of earrings, and all you need is a couple of wrapped loops or simple loops and you're good to go, right? Throw a charm in there for fun. So pretty. All right, so last but not least, I've got leather bracelets. And like I said, this is really, I'm feeling the springtime. I'm feeling the summertime with these. So these are going to come in two different leather colors, and the beads will be a little bit different. So let me show you the lighter colored one, and we're going to put the darker colored one together. So the lighter colored one is this lighter colored kind of tan leather, right? Got the tiara cast charm here in the middle and some bone and wood beads. And it's going to be a double strand bracelet, and you'll have your little end caps here. And the way the end caps are going to work, you're going to put both ends of your cord into the single strand and glue those, or into the single component and glue those. Okay, so when you get those, don't think you're missing anything. It's both ends are going to fit into that cord end, and you just need to add a little bit of glue. Also, you have to have the dangles because I'm all about the dangles. So you've got a little piece of ocean jasper and then a beautiful check glass leaf to go with it. And this is what the lighter version looks like. Super, super pretty. Right? And then we're going to put together the darker version. So there are two of these. I am flying through the projects today. I don't mean to be, you guys. I don't know. I must be the coffee kicking in. I don't mean to be flying through. I'm sorry. I need to slow down. So yeah, but these are super easy. I think that's why it kind of feels that way. Oh my gosh, Wanda, you are my favorite human. You seriously crack me up. All right, so for the darker version, let me show you what the beads are. So you've got some wooden beads here. Your ocean jasper is a little bit darker. So I put the darker ocean jasper beads with the darker leather. And then your check glass leaf is a little darker as well. So let's see here. We're going to put all this together. Hold on. We're going to do this one start to finish because, well, not start to finish because half of it's already done, but we're going to do the most out of this project because Jones made me feel very guilty now. I'm not trying to rush. Okay, so you'll have two pieces of the leather in your kit, okay? And there's plenty of leather. I cut this one down just a little bit, but you've got plenty. So this is going to accommodate a large variety of wrist sizes, okay? So don't worry, there's plenty of leather included in your kit. You get one really, really long piece and you'll have to cut it in half and then you'll cut it down from there. But you're going to take your pieces of leather and you just want to find the middle, fold those in half, okay? And then string one end through your little leaf charm that goes in the middle here. And find the center of your cord, okay? And then all we're going to do is just tie an overhanded knot. Okay, so I'm just going to take the two cords together. And pull that knot down. I like my knots to be pretty close to my charm. Okay. You can space them out if you want to, but I kind of like them like that. All right. So now when it comes to putting the beads on, I will show you a little bit of difference here. So on the lighter colored one, the bone beads that were included had a large enough hole to accommodate both pieces of the leather. Whereas these guys, it probably would accommodate both pieces of the leather, but I didn't want to force it, so I only thread it on to one. So I'm going to thread this onto the top piece of the 2 pieces of leather, and then I'm just going to bring them together and tie another overhanded knot to keep that. It is nice leather, Wanda. It's really soft. This is Leather Cord USA leather, so you know it's good stuff. It's very, very supple. All right, so there's that. And I put that bead on the top of the 2. Over here, you can see for the next bead, I'm going to put it on the bottom of the 2. So I'm going to take my next bead, thread that one on. And again, I'm just going to bring the 2 cords together. And do another overhanded knot. And again, I like to tie mine close so that my beads don't have a lot of wiggle room. But now those of you who are loving the wiggle, you can definitely, you've got enough leather to make it so that your beads have some wiggly in there, right? All right, so those are the beads for the dark out of the 2 different ones. You can see they're just a little bit different, but not much, right? And you definitely can treat this bead the same way we treated these. I just went ahead and thread both cords through there. Okay, so now what we would do for the end is, we've got our little end pieces here. So I'm going to take my check glass leaf and my little jasper bead, and I'm going to thread those both onto head pins and just do wrapped loops on those. So there's one. Come in with my chain nose pliers and bend. Okay, coming in with the round nose pliers, same steps as always, up and over. Okay, roll the pliers out of the way, take the wire over to the other side, switch hands, and then do your wire wraps between the loop and the top of the bead. Don't do too many. Don't force it. If you've only got room for 3 or you only have room for 2, don't force a 4th one because you don't want to risk cracking the top of your bead or chipping it, okay? So I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, trim that off, and I'm going to do the same thing with my little check glass leaf. He's very blue and green. He does have that kind of pop of orange on the sides, which I think is kind of cool. And I'm just going to treat him the exact same way. Now he's shaped a little bit differently because that wire is coming out in a dip. If you feel like you struggle with that, you can put like a little spacer bead in between there just so that your wrapped loop starts a little bit higher and a little bit further away from the top of the bead. Sometimes just a little change like that can make all the difference in the world. So the leather, that's a good question. The leather is 1 millimeter. I believe it's 1 millimeter. Let me double check that for you before I say for sure. Yep, 1 millimeter leather cord. Okay, so in with the round nose pliers, going up and over, roll the pliers out of the way and take the wire over to the other side. And again, we're going to wire wrap. So when I put all of this together, I'm going to come in and trim off. When I put all of this together, let me show you on the finished one how I have my beads hanging. So the beads are not hanging directly onto a jump ring where my clasp is. They're actually a whole jump ring down. And with my jasper bead, I've even added in another little 4 millimeter jump ring just so that it hangs a little bit lower. You can do these however you want to. However, I definitely would not hang your charms over on the jump ring where you're going to actually attach your clasp, just because sometimes when you go to put your jewelry on, if there are charms hanging from that jump ring, it's harder, it just makes it a little bit more fickle to put your bracelet on. So don't make it hard on yourself. Keep it easy. All right, so we've got 6 millimeter jump ring. We're just going to open that one up. We're going to attach it to one of our cord ends, and we'll go ahead and close that back. We'll do our clasp on the other one. So another 6 millimeter jump ring, and we're going to attach to the cord end, and I'll go ahead and put our lobster clasp on this one. And you can always change the clasp up if you wanted to give it something a little bit different, but don't lose the cord ends. You can change the lobster, just don't change the cord ends because they were specifically fit to go. Okay, let me back up. Words are hard. They are made specifically for these two cord ends to fit into them. Okay, I did the measuring there intentionally is all I'm trying to say. Okay, so we're going to use another 6mm jump ring. I'm going to thread on my leaf, and I'm going to thread that onto the 6mm jump ring. Nope, over here. And give that a close. And then we're going to add our little piece of jasper as well. So this one's a 4mm jump ring, and you can put it on either side. It makes no difference. Now, when it comes to gluing your ends, okay, so I've got everything attached, and now I'm ready to glue the cord into the ends. When it comes to doing this, everybody always asks, what glue should I use? What's the best glue? So for me personally, I like to, if I can, use gel super glue. I know a lot of you are going to gasp at that, but I will lightly coat, or if you want to, because you're going to cover up, you know, a little section of this, you can actually take a little piece of tape and cover the ends of your leather, okay? And that'll just keep them together before you put them inside the cap or the cord end. But I like to use super glue. I know I shouldn't, but I do. And it's just because to me, it has the best bond. And I use a super glue gel so that I don't get that yucky haze all over my leather and over my metal. I can't stand that. And it is so hard to get off. However, if you want to use your E6000, you absolutely can. I would just, you know, grab a toothpick and use your toothpick and fill up your cap or your cord end. I would do that first and then slide in your cords and then clean up whatever kind of smushes out. But it's probably my least favorite out of the glues. I mean, I'm just saying, if you wanted my opinion, you got it. But that's all you got to do, right? You just want to glue them in there, and then you want to let them sit. No matter what kind of glue it is that you're going to use to glue your cord ends on, you want to let it sit. Make sure your cord ends are the same length, by the way. That one was a little long. But you want to let it sit before you wear it, at least overnight. So give it a good 12 hours. I do not recommend putting on your bracelet until that glue has completely set up. Okay, specifically because you may only have these cord ends. Like, I don't know what you've got in your stash, but if these are the only ones you've got, you don't want to mess them up. So, all right. Joan says she says, I have several types of glue, so I tend to use the one that I can find. That's kind of the way I am too. Same. But I always have gel on hand for the most part. And Rosanna says she likes to use Loctite gel on leather. I love Loctite glues, you guys. Those are really, really good glues and are surprisingly affordable. And if you buy them at like the big box stores, like, you know, the Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and you use your 40% off on them. Of course, I know you probably want to use that on like beads or something else fun, but you know, sometimes you just got to buy glue. Use a coupon. All right. So just one more look, you guys, and I'm going to turn you around and let you go for the day. So these are the two leather bracelet kits that are available in the shop. If you want to recreate them exactly, these guys are in the shop. So they're the bracelets. Our little Aloha earrings are also in kit form in the shop. And guys, these were only in limited supply. So there's only a handful of these. And then we have our 3 different versions of the Lampwork earrings. And I'll try these on because they're so pretty hanging. They look so different than just laying flat. So there's the teal, the soft blue, and then the black. So pretty. They all have such a different kind of personality, don't you think? Like, I don't know, the black ones are kind of dressy, the blue ones are kind of like spunky, and these are kind of soft and, you know, a little quieter, if you will. Oh my gosh. Okay. Whew. It is a Friday. I can tell. I'm going to turn you guys around because things are just getting crazy around here. It's been a day. It's been a day. Before I had the live, I was literally fighting with my German Shepherd. He got a brand new collar and he was just not having any part of it. He didn't want to give up the collar he had on. And then I banned him from the room and I can hear him throwing a dog temper tantrum. So he's mad that he's not in here with me right now. It's just like having a toddler, I'm telling you. All right, so here are the Aloha earrings. Just so you can see. I love these. I'm so in love with this color combination. It just feels like summertime, you know? And I don't know about you guys. I'm ready for like a normal summer. Last summer was anything but normal. So my fingers are crossed. All right, so here are the black. Anita, I will answer your question in just a second. Don't let me forget. So there's the black and those gorgeous. And guys, these are not heavy, by the way. I know those Lampwork beads are a little bit big because they're the lentils, but don't be intimidated by them. They are not super heavy at all, I promise. So pretty. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Love them. All right, here are the spunky teal blue ones. Yes, Sharon, thank you for answering that question. Somebody had asked what size the cord ends were. So the cord ends are 2mm cord ends to accommodate the 2 pieces of leather. Yes, yes, perfect. There are those. These are just like a pool of serenity. That's what it reminds me of. Like they're spunky and fun, but like that blue is still somewhat calming, right? It's like, I don't know. I just want to go sit out at the goldfish pond and I don't know. I'm just going to stop talking. I'm giving the YouTube crowd, I'm giving the YouTube trolls, okay? Because we've got a great YouTube crowd. I'm giving the YouTube trolls great ammunition today. I'm just giving them all kinds of things to talk bad about me over. There are those. These are my favorite. I don't know. I'm really loving this like soft blue. Gosh, I'm going to put on the other one. Wanda says, I'm going to need more ears. Yes, you are. I don't know how to help you with that. But yes, you are. Aren't they pretty? So pretty. Yes, yes, yes. I love them because you can dress them up and you can dress them down, which is super cool. So I'm going to roll back. There was a question. Hold on. Our cat is like a 3-year-old toddler. Yeah, both of my dogs are like toddlers. Robin wants to know, what are your jump rings made out of? I'm not sure. Oh no, I wish I could tell you. Like all of the jump rings that I use are either come from like these twisted ones. These are from Fire Mountain Gems. And then the plain ones come from Beadalon. And I don't know. I don't know. Sam says you get trolls on your YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, Sam. The meanest people ever on YouTube. It's weird because I have a great community on YouTube, but I also have the nastiest people ever over there. And they intentionally hunt me out and say things, just really nasty, hurtful things. Yeah. I would say that they're plated base metal too, Sam. I'm pretty sure. I think that's kind of standard unless you're looking for the copper core that they use for like the chainmail jump rings, or sterling silver. And I know mine are not like sterling silver or anything. They're just base metal, I'm sure. They come in a package. What, the trolls? They do come in a package. It seems like when there's one, there's like 50. That's okay. For every troll, there are wonderful, wonderful people, right? There's like, for every one troll, there's 50 of you that make my day amazing and keep me from, crying every time somebody sends me something nasty. Oh gosh. Fridays are so laid back, and I think that definitely gives them ammunition, right? Yeah, friend, people can be ugly. It's really sad. And I try to just let it roll off of me, but at the end of the day, like, I'm a human being And, you know, sometimes, you guys know, I wear my heart on my sleeve. It doesn't take much to make me, you know, tear up. And I try not to take those things personally, but I do. I do. Can't help it. All right. So, yeah, like I said, I've given them lots today. Oh, well. We are, aren't we? What are y'all talking about? My Facebook group is amazing. I have the most amazing Facebook group ever. And guys, for those of you who are over on YouTube, I'm just going to throw this out there. For those of you who are on YouTube, I love you guys. I absolutely love you guys. The mean people, you guys can take a seat. But for the most part, everybody that is over on YouTube and watches these in replay, I love you and I appreciate your support so much. My YouTube channel is growing very, very quickly. And that being said, for those of you who are only on YouTube and do not do Facebook, I'm looking into using a platform, or not using a platform, but using a streaming service, if you will, where I can live stream to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time, because a lot of my YouTube people want to see me live. So that's in the works. Just know, YouTube people, I'm thinking about you and I want to give you the best as well. So, all right. That is it for me today, you guys. I hope you have enjoyed these inspiration ideas, because you know how Feel Good Friday goes. It's number one, it's super casual and laid back. Number two, the designs are easy peasy, so easy to recreate with beads from your own stash, or you can grab the kits. They're already ready for you over in the Etsy shop, and you know, you don't have to do anything except wait for them to show up in the mail and then put them together. Yeah, that's it. I feel like I needed to say something else, but the words are just gone today. The words are just gone. It's been a long week. Oh, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I have a Michael's class. I'm teaching a really fun, easy peasy stringing bracelet project that the results are absolutely gorgeous. If you're interested in that, come sign up. Joan has posted all of the information in the Facebook group for that, so you can definitely come and be a part of that. And then next week, you guys, more fun things. I've planned out the whole next 2 months, so I already know what's coming, which is like a step for me, because I'm normally like last minute trying to figure it out. But I already know what's coming up for next week, and I know what some of next week's kits are going to be, and you guys are going to love them. They're very spring related, super cute. So look forward to those. Have a wonderful holiday weekend, you guys. Everybody take some time to recharge and rest and relax. And I will see you guys again on Tuesday at 1 p.m. if I don't see you tomorrow for my Michael's class. Love you guys. Bye.